there's a huge disconnect between the Thamils and Sinhalese of Sri Lanka. Whenever there's a discussion or argument, the Thamils always support the LTTE and the Sinhalese always say LTTE is a terrorist organization. There's no discrimination in Sri Lanka against Thamils. There's no major sufferings by the Thamils in Tamil area. They say that, oh, there's nothing like that. LTTE is the only one fighting for free country. Thamils actually do not want, they are against the LTTE. LTTE threatens, kills Thamils. This is what the Sinhalese argue, right? This is always the case anywhere in the foreign country, or maybe sometime in Sri Lanka as well, right? But even though they argue all these points from Sinhalese side, I honestly think that Sinhalese are not racist. Even those people who argue this way as well, right? They are not racist, and that's not why they are arguing this point. The real reason is they truly believe, they honestly believe that's the case. They honestly believe that LTTE is a terrorist organization. There is no discrimination against Thamils. There's no major sufferings. That's what the major thing is, right? So all the Sinhalese you talk to, they always believe that's the case. When we moved to Colombo, and I realized, as if though I'm in a different country. Colombo, there's nobody is afraid. Everybody is doing their day-to-day life as though it's normal. Everybody's going to school, work, shopping, going to beach and all that, right? There's no scared, like you don't see army with guns on the intersection or junctions like that, right? There's electricity, there's light bulbs even on the streets. So you could actually go to an ice cream parlor in middle of the night, like maybe 9 p.m., right? And eat the ice cream without any being scared and all. It was kind of shocking to me. Is it like, I grew up where there's no electricity. It's not like 5 hours electricity cut. There's no electricity at all. So we had to study in an oil lamp, right? So the problem is, anybody in the Sri Lankan side doesn't know what actually happened or happening in Tamil side. Right? There's no electricity, there's no battery, there's no soap, there's no wicks. The wicks you put for cold, that's not even there. There's no urea for farming. So we endured all these sufferings as though it's normal. So without soap, how do we wash our clothes? It's use the palm tree fruit, right? It sounds crazy as it is, but that's what we did, right? And how to listen to radios? You use the bicycle dynamo. So somebody will spin the wheel, and then you will hear the grr 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 sound while the radio is playing. So we could hear the news. The news only we hear. We don't hear anything else. And when you come to Sri Lankan side, kids are watching cartoons on the TV. I was like so happy to see cartoons, right? As I was a kid, right? And it was amazing to me. Is it the same country? Like initially I thought we are in a different country, right? Like we came to another country. Oh wow, look at this country has all these things. Wow, I was amazed and happy and all that, right? Eventually when I went to school in Colombo too, right, for a while. So nobody in Sri Lanka, the Sinhalese side, is aware that what's the sufferings, the huge sufferings going on the other side, a few hundred kilometers away. They only know, okay, there's 15 LTTUs killed, right? Or like 50 LTT killed, and they captured boat, they captured armored truck or something like that. Because that's the news you get. There's no real news you get. Because the government did this media ban, right? Even Tamil news, there's no true happenings or true news about the Tamil side. It's always that, okay, there's some neutral news. Because once the Tamil news publishes something supporting the Tamil side, the secret services come and take the person to a 4th floor in a secret torture building, right? So everybody is afraid. Even the other thing I notice is even the Tamil people in Colombo, they are not aware, because all they heard was the news from the Colombo newspapers, right? There was no WhatsApp and Facebook and all that back then, right? There's no social media, and there's nobody to send you these real, true videos and share and all that, right? So the people in Colombo, Tamil people, also they are not aware of what actually happened. They just know, okay, yeah, there's some terrible things happening, but LTT is also killing, so Sri Lanka is fighting. That's all they know. So even the Tamil people. So if you notice, the Tamil people in Colombo also, they are not aware of the full extent of the damage being done in the Tamil side. They never went through the struggle and all that the Tamil area people went through, right? So anybody who comes new to Colombo, they don't speak about it, because even I myself didn't speak about it, because I know that I'm in a single area. If I speak about it, I will disappear, right? That's what happened in the Tamil area, right? The Tamil areas, the army will come and say that, okay, we need to investigate, come with us. And the guy goes, and then the guy never returns, because he disappeared, right? The parents and, usually the mothers, they go cry in front of the army station, cry all day, weeks, months, and nothing happens, right? Rarely some people come back, and right away they send the person to foreign. That's what happens, right? Because it's terrible. You see army dressed with guns in the junction. The army comes, barge into your house. They sometimes shoot at sight, sometimes take you away, sometimes they beat you up and then leave you, sometimes they rape the woman, right? This is all kind of like the terrible lives we were going through. And when the plane goes by, we all run to the bunker. There's no second thinking. Like the mothers will grab the child while running. For the Sinhalese who says that Thamils do not support LTTE, or the LTTE is forcing the Thamils to support them, think it as a common man with a critical thinking, right? Just as a generic, like forget about even the war, everything happened, right? Now, every single Tamil family from the Tamil area has a connection with LTTE, right? Whether sometimes it's public, sometimes it's secret, right? Either the siblings went to LTTE, like brother, sister went to the LTTE, or parents went to LTTE, or grandkids went to LTTE, or their extended family, like niece, nephew, auntie, uncle, everybody, somebody went to LTTE, right? Or the bare minimum, a friend went into LTTE. So this has all happened. The LTT didn't force every Tamil people to do this. Like the forcing part happened at the very last end of it, right? It didn't happen before. For 30 years, it didn't happen before, right? So if everybody is actually going to the LTTE from every family, right? If they have connection, you use some common sense, please, right? Like, how is it possible that all the families in all Tamil areas have connection? You may say, oh, that family doesn't have it, because they didn't say it, right? There's a secret places too, right? Some people are secretly about it, right? So that's the thing, right? It cannot happen without people's support. You cannot have like one organization that's world level class, right? Like there's no other organization in the world flew plane and bombed 3 times, right? That didn't happen in history, right? You have to be actually proud that even Prabhar himself is born in Sri Lanka, right? So we are world class level, right? You have to think about it. Like people supported this because the Thamils were suffering. As you can see, like from my experience, I truly thought that I came to a different country, right? As a kid, right? It's like that, right? The sufferings and the discrimination and all that it's way bigger. The margin is so huge that it's unfathomable, right? It's unbelievable. How is it even that happened, and then no Sinhalese knows this. That's what I said, that Sinhalese do not know this because they were banned from all these medias. They all bombarded with fake news all the time. So they truly believe this. So unfortunately, that's bad for Tamils too, because now all the Sinhalese you talk to, they all say LTT is terrorists and they don't support, there's no discrimination in Thamils area, there's nothing suffering like that. But please try to understand this